All right, y'all, we're getting our lid for the bucket ready before we tap the tree. Want to make sure our tube and everything goes in here. And we want to get it sit in front of the tree. There we go, perfect. So that we can know where to screw or drill into the tree for our tap. We got a food grade bucket. And from our research, the ideal place to tap the tree is about 3 feet up. You don't want to tap a tree any less than 12 inches in diameter. This tree is perfectly big enough for us to tap it. Genesis, will you get a tap out of there? So the other thing you want to do, come on in here, Sophie. The other thing you want to do is you only want to go about 2.5 inches into the tree, and you want to go at an upward angle so that the sap can have its natural flow out. So that's what we're going to do for this one. Like I said, we're no pros at this. We might be a little bit late. Friends are saying that the sap's still running. So that's what we're going to try to do. Gonna hand me a tap, young lady? Cool. We get our tap put in there. It fits perfect. Before we put it in, go ahead and hit this. Hit the tube on it. And we've had some warmer weather come along, so things may slow down on us. But we're going to come back and we're going to check on this tomorrow and see if we've gotten any syrup in here, or any sap, I should say. We're going to go find one more tree. We're only going to tap 2 for this experiment, and then we'll show you guys when we boil it down and the kids' review of the syrup once we make it.
All right, so we're making a lid for it so that no rain can get into it.
You want to help her out, Genesis? Need to make a good thick lid since it's going to rain all night, girls. Be plenty. We didn't have enough food grade lids. We had bought some Homestead Life. Things get misplaced, so we don't know where the other lid is. So we're just going to make do with what we got. Improvise. Get that lid nice and tight, girls. Poke a hole for the tubing. Use your lid tight. There you go, Dylan. Stick the tube in there.
Yeah, all right.
There you go. See where you need to be up the tree.
So do you want to hold this? Thank you.
All right, so hold my phone real quick. Thanks. I'm gonna trade y'all out drill bits. The last bit, I think we used a 7/16. I think Dylan gave me a little bit big of a bit. So we're gonna swap over to the 5/16. So the spline goes in tighter this time. There you go. And only about half that bit in. Pull it back out, clean it out. Go back in. There you go. Don't go too deep. There you go.
No, you gotta blow it.
You can put the spline in there. There you go.
This side goes in. Here, the
Yes,
wrong side.
First, you need to get it on the tube, bub.
Yeah, it's a tight fit.
No, you won't waste any that way.
What is right? I got it. Let
Here.
me do it. Like a professional. It's called wiggle it. Wiggle it. Wiggle it. Hold it. Thank you.
Y'all need me to do it?
I got it. Got it. You got it.
Y'all let me know when you want Dad to help out. And you're dropping our bucket, son.
Oh no.
Move, son. Son. There you go.
Oh my
Put
God.
your tube back in.
I got the thing. Where'd the hole go? There it is.
Go ahead and just put it in the tree first and then put it in the bucket.
You're gonna put it up on in there. Ugh.
tight?
You do it so.
Might need to drill it a little better.
Yeah, because it's not really going in.
There you go. All right. Well, back your bucket up so you're not getting a bunch of stuff in your bucket. Make that hole just a little bit looser, Dylan. All right. Blow it out. All right, so see if you can get in there. That's better, ain't it?
Yeah.
Hold on, that's not in all the way. Turn it. It's going in the right direction. And put it in. There you go. Set your bucket back where I had it by that tree so it doesn't get knocked over. There you go. Well, we got the trees spiked. We're gonna come back and check them tomorrow and see how they're doing. It's been fun. It's an adventure and we like to experiment. All right, y'all. So we've been trying to wait for a day that the wind was died down enough that we could actually get our, there we go, get our syrup boiling down. But Southern Indiana, we've not had that opportunity at all. So it dawned on me that, hey dude, we got this greenhouse almost wrapped up. Let's go ahead and utilize what we have at our disposal. So that's what we're gonna do. And we did not collect near as much syrup as we had hoped. Our maple trees were not being very productive. And then we had that 70-mile-an-hour storm, windstorm that came through. And that caused us to lose a lot, and I do mean a lot, of what we had collecting in our buckets. So we are going to just go ahead and rock with what we've got, y'all. I need to find something. There we go. It's not really gonna hold right there though. Let me get me a little something here. Here we go. These will work. I've got to filter this stuff again, just to be safe. There we go. Perfect. All right. So we're going to rock with what we've got. This syrup is actually going to become, or the sap, I should say. It's going to turn into syrup. Is actually going to come from our walnut tree. I'm going to close that down just a little bit while that's going through there. Gotta let all that strain in there. But we've got a good bit of sap from our walnut tree. And Mr. Graves and Miss Deborah, Mr. Michael Graves and Deborah Graves, swear that walnut sap, in their opinion, is better than maple sap when it's boiled down into syrup. So that's what we're going to be working on, is getting this going out here in the greenhouse where the wind's not blowing terribly across it. It's going to be a slow filtering process, so once I get it all filtered, I'll be back with y'all. I don't have any cheesecloth at the moment, so we're just running it through a clean washcloth and a strainer. Just for reference, that's how slow it's filtering, which is fine. A slow filter means it's taking its time and it's getting any debris out. But that is so slow. It's gonna take a while to go through all these gallons. So I had to put up a temporary barrier to keep our handsome Muscovy from being too curious and getting inside the greenhouse. We don't have the door on the greenhouse yet. And this handsome Muscovy here was very curious about the propane burner and what I'm doing. I'm not ready to eat duck just yet, so I don't want him too close to the fire. But if If you've never had Muscovy, it is a very dark red meat like beef. And they are very docile ducks, and they don't make a lot of quacking noises like other ducks. Pretty cool little ducks to have around. And we don't even really have to put much feed out for these guys. They thrive on foraging and finding bugs. So it's taking a hot little minute to filter through that rag. Very slow drip, but we're already starting to get a little bit of steam. I'll come back out here in a little while and check on this and pour a little bit more through that filter. But my lunch break's almost over. Starting to get a little steam though. Once it starts getting a gentle roll going on, I'll turn it down. The key is to evaporate most of the water off without scorching it, and I definitely don't want to scorch it. Alright, ran back out here to add a little bit more sap to go through the filter. And it's definitely steaming well now, and we're getting that rolling boil, so I'm going to turn down the propane just a smidge so that we don't scorch it. Just a smidge. There we go. How's that flame doing under there? She's going good. Probably turn her down just a smidge. Ooh. There we go, a little bit. There we go, good. All right. Keeping an eye on her. We'll be back out to check in a little while and pour a little more through the filter. Just got it steaming along, y'all. So you see that line right there? That's where it started. Got a long way to go on how far it needs to reduce before it'll be syrup. But we're pretty happy with how much it's steaming and evaporating that water right on off there. But it's boiled down a lot, y'all. I don't know. We'll see if we had enough to make some syrup. It's still got a ways to go. All right, dreamers. So as you could tell from the thumbnail, our experiment was not a success. In the aspect of the syrup did not turn out well. And that was a rookie mistake on our part. We found proper trees, we tapped proper trees, but we did not store our sap properly until it was time to boil it down. Essentially what we did was we stored it too long, and we didn't freeze it, and we didn't refrigerate it or any of that. We just had it in a bucket in the back of the garage, and we thought that was plenty cool enough. My rookie mistake was when I was filtering the sap into the pot that we were going to boil the sap down into to make the syrup. I should have known then that because it was cloudy, it was already ruined. I did some research after we boiled it down and we tasted it. It was not good. And in fact, it didn't actually get very thick either. But that's the conclusion from my research, was that once the sap began to get cloudy, it was no longer good, and we just didn't know better. So it wasn't necessarily a failure because we tried something new. And it's a lesson that we've learned and we will carry forward into next year. Also, in addition to all of that, we had buddies reach out to us who are willing to take us out in the woods during the wintertime and show us which trees are actually the sugar maples. Because apparently their bark is very similar to the same bark of a few other species of trees. So it's not the easiest thing to identify if you've never done it before, just off of watching videos or reading books or looking at images. I myself learned better hands-on, so I'm really thankful to have some buddies who are going to take me out in the woods next winter and show me which trees to look for so that I can tap them next February. All in all, it was a fun try and we had a good time. It would have been nice to have a big jar full of syrup, but it's okay. We keep things raw and real around here. We're never going to pretend like everything we do is a success, because everything in life is not a success in the way of accomplishing what you set out to accomplish. And our goal was to make syrup. Did we accomplish spending time together as a family? Yes. Did we accomplish trying something new that was outside of our knowledge base? Yes. So we did have some accomplishments, but we just didn't accomplish our initial goal, which was to make syrup. And we're okay with that. We can go right down the road to the Amish store and buy syrup from those guys, so it's no big deal. Anyhow, y'all, till next time, keep dreaming.